Hey guys, it's time to finish this one up. They've about got the inside done. They've got power, permanent power now. Looks like they've put their plastic down, insulated their floor. There's my wires for the indoor and the outdoor unit. So I was actually going to do this tomorrow, but they're calling for a lot of rain, so I decided I was going to at least come out and get the pad leveled up here. And I don't know if I have time. I may try to bring that unit out here before dark and get it back here, because if it rains, this dirt will be slick tomorrow. It's been raining and threatening to rain more, but we're going to try to get this thing hooked up before it does a lot of rain. Getting ready to hook the electrical in here, and I'm going to start on the line set at the same time. I got help today. Okay, we are under a flood watch, and I think for the next 40 minutes, it's only a 15% chance of rain, so I'm going to try to get these lines just brazed in. I've got the 3/4 here. I'm getting the 3/8, and that'll get me in, out of the outside here. That's that real nice crawl space under there. It's got plenty of headroom, so the quicker I can get out of here, the better. Okay, put the nitrogen back up here on the big line, because I always do it first on the other end. It's easier to get around it if you don't have the little one in your way. One thing you might ask is, why did I put this hole so long? Well, things changed. They did a lot of grading around here. This was the house that had all the rock, and they actually raised that opening up a couple of blocks. So where this would have been a little bit high probably to start with, now it's a little bit low. So that's why that's this way. Still got the nice crawl space, just have to bend down and drop off into it now. But we'll get inside and I'll put the Rubitex on from that end and push it out. And we'll get the other side done up so we can start working on the electrical. Okay guys, just getting it roughed in here. I got this line brazed. Nitrogen's actually coming out of this one right here right now. And going outside, so we make this connection. We've got all them, and we can pressure test and start pulling a vacuum. Still no rain, but looking ominous. Okay, we have got a 250 psi pressure test on her, so we'll see how that does, and if we have no problems, we'll stick a vacuum on it. Okay, it's been a minute. Well, it's been probably 20 minutes. We're at 250 still, just right over the edge, so I'm gonna call that good. I didn't put a valve core back in this guy, so when I take him off, she's gonna empty out. I will put this on the line, hook up my big vacuum hose, and set it maybe around that way and stay out of Phil's way while he's over here doing the electrical. Soaking wet this morning. But now there's almost a little bit of blue trying to come through, so it's trying to burn off. It's getting hot, it's real muggy. If the sun does pop out, all that moisture that you see burning off is going to turn into raindrops and come back down. I just screwed the gauge on. It hadn't been running long. I just had turned off the gas ballast, so she's pulling down quick. Of course, it should come back up, but not much, because it's never had any refrigerant in it. But we're going to let her run. We got time. Okay, got the doors back on, got the speed tap set on what I think it'll be. I'm going to make all the thermostat connections actually outside like the old good ones used to. I used to not be a fan of that, but the more I've worked on units, it's kind of sweet to be able to come in and troubleshoot without actually pulling the door off, especially with all the burned off wires we have around here where people use wire nuts on number 6. But at any rate, Phillips probably get that hooked up here for me in a little bit. I'm gonna get started on this drain, and we'll be about ready to go put the thermostat on. Well, it's just after 10 a.m. and it's down to 139. So I'm going to valve it off, turn off the pump for a little bit, and see what it says. I don't know what I got my limit set for, 180, I think. So we'll let that sit here and see what it does, and then we'll turn it back on if need be. Okay, inside the house. Kind of humid in here too. Looks like they're about ready for me though. So I'm gonna put our grill in, our thermostat, and then we'll have a bunch of floor registers. Looks like the router guy got a little lazy here. So I've got my knife with me. I'll try to trim that up before I go to try to stick the grill in or take this cover out. Well, grill went in okay. Gonna have to find a shop vac or something. Nah, I'll get a shop vac off the truck. Anyway, gonna get this thermostat wired up, and hopefully the vacuum will be finished and we'll be good to go. I'm dripping off my elbows in here. I was making fun about that leaf blower, but when I worked for the schools, we had one particular school that everybody always complained because it was dusty. You know, they always blame dust on the HVAC guy. Well, I got called up there one night for a boiler alarm or something after hours, and the night janitor was there. And I went in, opened the door and went into the boiler room and cleared the alarm on the boiler. And walked back out in the hall and I heard something sounded like a motorcycle. I went down the hall to see what was going on. And the dude had a 2-stroke Husqvarna leaf blower sweeping the rooms. So I don't know what that was all about. I told him, I said, you can't do that. He said, I've done it for 15 years. I said, no wonder they complain about the dust. He not only was spreading it around, he was adding more with that 2-stroke engine. Okay, guys, we're gonna get this thermostat programmed up and we should be about ready to start her up. Okay, it's been right at an hour and it's up to 8:15. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break it with nitrogen one more time since we have the time, and pull it down again because you can't get too good of a vacuum. Okay, it's raining across town, so I gotta get out of here. It's 0.2 is the total static. That's set on a T4 speed tap, which gives us just over 1,000 CFM. Everything's blowing good upstairs. All the rooms, you know, are getting plenty of air. So I'm going to tape up these holes and start this baby up. Still 594, it's been off for a while. We're going to turn her loose and we'll have to check the superheat and subcool when we get her started up. Well, she started up, so that's a good thing. Getting ready to put the gauges on it. Let her eat for a little bit and see where that TXV needs to be adjusted or not. Alrighty, those are beginning pressures. 163, 271, 6.7 superheat and a 2.2 subcool. I expect that number will raise on up here in a little bit. It's hot in the house. It's actually warmer in the house than it is outside since this rain is coming through, so we'll have to let her run a little while. She's been running, the gauges have been on it for about a minute and a half. Okay, so here's the final product. Starting here on this end. You know, I used to didn't like the way Goodman did their air handlers with the little grommet and their, you know, lines outside. And I still don't if it's in a finished space, you know, if it's in your garage or in your, you know, maybe laundry room. But when it's under here, it actually does make troubleshooting much easier to have these wires outside the cabinet. So we've done that. Got your A2L board in there doing its thing. Somebody had a question about seeing the drain, how it was going to be. I don't know, probably this float switch is what. This is just I think it's Easy Trap 225 or something like that. They got them, it's got the clear traps with them too. Usually if this line's very long, I'll vent it right here after the trap just so it don't get double trapped. In this case, it's so short, and we went ahead and strapped this up in case anybody got under here and wanted to kind of hang on it. Hopefully it would stop them from breaking something. Got a strap on the refrigerant line, but we're getting good airflow. So far the numbers look good on the gauges. I'm gonna let it run a little bit and see if we need to do anything either to the thermal expansion valve or the charge. This is line set is only about 12 foot total, so it's a little bit overcharged, I would assume, but 3 times 0.3, I don't know, times 0.6, 1.8 ounces, I don't know, something like that. It's little. Either way, we'll keep an eye on it here for a minute and make sure it's okay. Okay, put a strap on the flex there after it come out of the box. Well, we got 54 actual degrees on the suction line and 82 on the liquid line going in. It gives us a 4 superheat and a 6.7 subcool 7. So I'm thinking it's real close. Like I say, it's kind of upside down right now because it's cooler outside than it is inside. But I'm going to leave this thing running to cool the house off and start getting some of that humidity out. And this is Friday afternoon. I will put in for my inspection with the city, and they'll come probably Monday or Tuesday. So on Monday or Tuesday, when they come, I'll put gauges on it again after, you know, all the conditions are kind of settled down, and see if I need to do anything. But I think it's pretty close right now. That's the complete house from start to finish pretty much on this one. Rain is coming down now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.